Almost 16 and a half minutes now past 5 o'clock. It's the second Monday of the month, and that means it is time for Vision Talk, brought to you by Vision Bermuda and my good friend, rehab specialist for Vision Bermuda, Teresa McMorty, is joining me in the studio, along with Mr. Mark Jennings. Mark, former DJ, good to have you in the studio with us, my friend.
Yeah, it's good to be here.
And, we're going to talk about perhaps how you lost your vision, a little bit about your life. You're going to tell us a little bit, and what your relationship with Vision Bermuda is like, and the differences it's made in your life. So I guess we want to talk a little bit about, your professional soccer career in the States and in England. As we said, you were a DJ on the air. You knew some of our former greats here, like Sturgis and Lee and Wayne L. and the rest of them. That's good to know. Some good old friends from up here on the hill and down on North Shore, actually.
That's right, yeah.
So good to have you here, Teresa. What this quite a client in your life, I'm sure.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about maybe how you met, and then we'll talk a little bit about some of the great things that have gone on in Mark's life and his work with you guys now.
Well, hello everybody. Thank you for listening. Mark contacted Vision Bermuda for help with the smartphone, being able to use WhatsApp and send messages and get email and things on the smartphone. And so I went along and did an assessment, and he's amazing. He's, how you're coping with all that, Mark? It's just really, really good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So, Mark, tell us a little bit about, meeting Mother Teresa back in the 80s must have been a highlight in your life.
Oh yeah, that was nice. And when I was playing professional soccer in Boston,
Gotcha.
The owner made an arrangement for me to meet Mother Teresa, and I think it was it's been so many John Paul IIs or whatever.
Sure.
Yeah. That was a good experience as well.
For sure.
And this Teresa here is just like her.
This
Warm.
Teresa here is your new Mother Teresa.
Yeah, hey, warm, kind, considerate, just
there
like
you go.
her.
I would totally agree.
Kind.
She's definitely embodies some of the great things that the great Mother Teresa was known for, as far as caring for others. Most definitely. Can we talk often here on Vision Talk about the causes of sight loss? Do you want to share sort of what led to you becoming vision impaired?
Oh, sure, yeah. With me, I'm probably the onset of diabetes and not taking control of it too much and taking it for granted almost. But hey, that's how it goes, and obviously I learned from that now. But anyway, at any rate, that's what slowly.
Took your vision from you?
Yeah, it took my vision from me, yes.
Got you. How long have you been dealing with vision loss, and how long has Vision Bermuda been a part of your life? Because I bet, you took what we would call a good left turn as far as becoming more able to live your life. What was it like, I guess, losing your sight before, and now that you have become part of Vision Bermuda's client base?
Well, first, Shelley, when I lost my sight, it was... said, okay, just like anything else, and sports has been a good background for moving on. It said,
sure.
It's a point where I said, okay, now what do I do? Where do I go now? And how do I navigate that? So had to sit down and navigate that and think about what was going to help me out in my life. And then again, like I said, this Teresa, Mother Teresa here, was able to help me out a great deal in terms of helping me with the smartphone, and help me also to avoid being isolated. A lot of people come up with stories about being isolated.
Yeah.
But,
did you feel that way at first, maybe? Did you have a sort of a good tribe around you for support? It's hard sometimes for folk to deal with sight loss if you don't have, some family or some good support around you.
Yeah, and fortunately I had a very good support system in place. Good friends, and they were, and then Teresa only added to that as well. Good
to know.
And then also she's added with me with that, and with other friends that the group chat she's created. That we we can talk, and we talk every night basically after the news goes off.
Sure.
listen to the news.
Discuss the day's events, maybe?
Yes, that's right. Yes, that's
Try
right.
and solve the world's problems
go.
there, right, Mark?
There you go. But before that, I listen to your last two songs, and then we go into the news, and then
Okay, cool.
and then we go from there. Yeah.
So you listen to Ocean 89. That's
I
great
think,
to know.
The big difference that I've noticed in Mark is by learning how to use a smartphone. I think anybody that listens to this regular will know that I'm a big fan of the iPhone.
Sure. Yeah.
But by that, and being able to make calls and go on the group chat on WhatsApp and be able to be involved in all that,
Sure.
that's when Mark said that he was really grateful for all that, because before he felt quite isolated at night time
The
because he
social
had nobody
aspect
to
of it,
contact
right?
at night
Yes,
time.
that's
Yes.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the art of conversation is lost on a lot of us sighted people now, because we spend our time looking at a phone. So I find it a little ironic that having that same phone now for you, Mark, has made the art of conversation come alive for you again.
And it's opened up pretty much. I like to call my mom my third eye. So,
Yes.
So, and it's and now it's not become a problem, but it's become a way of life. You know?
Yeah,
And
you
so-
just deal with it,
Yeah,
and now
that's
your
right.
life, I believe, is what we would call a little more enriched by
That's right.
having
Yes.
the new associations with friends, perhaps with folks dealing with a similar thing. So,
Right.
so do you and anyone get at it about the state of soccer and FIFA these days, or what?
Oh yeah.
Is that part of it?
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
sure,
Oh, yeah, all
because
the time, yeah.
the team rivalries and the
Yes,
team
yes.
loyalties
That's right, yes.
amongst world-class football are
Yeah,
something else now. And what do
Yeah.
you think of our boy going over there to Miami and stuff and hanging out with Beckham? I mean, the best player in the world,
Yeah, and like I said, I mean that. Like I said, I mean that's great. And like I said, at the end of the day, I used to actually play for that team when it first started, before David Beckham had him.
Wow.
It was called the Miami Fusion at
Yeah.
one point. Yeah, and I actually played there. Yeah, for several years before I went to England to Middlesbrough. Yeah, so it was a lot of fun. So I enjoyed the lifestyle and met lots of wonderful people. Yeah, so it's been good. And like I said, I have no qualms, and I'm very thankful.
Sure.
And blessed because of I had the opportunity to do that in my
Yeah.
life.
And now it must be fun to sort of be up on the stats and understand,
Yes, that's
the
right.
rules of the game and the politics of the game,
Yep.
and how it plays out on the world stage so much now,
Yes,
right?
that's right. Yes, that's right.
Having opportunity to listen to broadcasts and stuff like that keeps you current on
Yes, that's right,
the
yes.
state of football in the world,
That's right.
right?
Yes.
And that's a good thing to know. And of course, having your iPhone, I'm sure,
Yes, with
makes a big difference, right?
Yeah,
He's
yes,
touches in his
yeah,
pocket
yeah.
right now.
with the Arsenal app and the Manchester United app.
I
yeah.
see. So you have a few. You follow a few of them on social. That's good
Yes,
to
that's
know.
right, yes.
Good to know. Good to
And
know.
the group that's been formed that are all on WhatsApp, and they help each other too. So if somebody forgets, or I'm not sure how
That's
to
right,
end the
yeah.
call, for example,
Sure.
then they help each other out with
Yes.
explaining how to do things, which is fantastic.
Good stuff.
Teresa,
Yeah.
can I quickly give a couple of shout-outs to those
You
guys?
absolutely
Of course you
can.
First of all, Kareem.
Oh yeah.
Kareem's been he's been great. He's been helpful, to helping me out. And then we've got Lauren Bean. We've got Warren Mallory. We've got Shanika Smith. We've got who else? We've got Brent Burgess. Brent. Who else we have? We have Maury O'Brien. Yeah, and then we've got the new young lady, Pauline, is it?
Paulita.
Oh, Paulita.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Paulita. Yeah.
Big shout out to her.
Yeah,
I
big
love
shout out.
her.
Yeah.
Oh,
I love them all, but
She's special. Huh?
I got you. Yeah.
She's special.
And
Yeah.
like I
Yeah.
said, I didn't want to forget anyone. Did I forget anybody?
not that's on the
Teresa.
social chat. So
Right,
what
okay.
happened is I set up a social chat, and they ring each other morning, noon, and night.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 2 o'clock
Yeah.
in the morning,
Yeah,
you'll get
in
a
the morning.
boop, 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 if you haven't turned your phone
Notification,
my phone
right?
on silent
Yeah.
while they're ringing each other.
I think that's great.
And so a couple of people are now on the news chat, but not on the on the social chat. So I think
Gotcha.
you've got everybody on the social chat there.
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
sorry if we missed anyone.
Yes,
because I know they're going to be listening tonight.
Okay,
Yeah, I
good,
hope
good.
they are
Yeah,
for
yeah.
sure. And it's funny how just one simple piece of technology can make the huge difference that it has, obviously, in your life, and probably a lot of the folks that you mentioned,
Yes.
with feeling like, well, how do I, how do I, have a discussion? How do you debate with
Yeah,
anyone
yeah,
about the things that are going on from day to day life?
It makes the world smaller a bit too.
Yeah, well,
Yes.
that's a good thing in this
Yeah.
regard, though,
That's
because
what I think
Yeah.
is really important. Anybody, please, that's feeling isolated through sight loss, please give us a ring, because I kept thinking, would it be a good idea to start up this group,
Yes. Mm-hmm.
but never really got round to it. And then I went to visit a client who I thought, I've really got to set up this group. He used to be very social, and I was thinking, I've really got to. And it's amazing. It's just amazing, the change in him. He probably knows who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But the change and being able to take part in the group, and they
Sure.
have fun, and
Just
It's
chatting with the
really
phone,
good.
I'm sure is great. But are there times when you can perhaps even get together in person? Perhaps do you hear a concert or something like that? Have you guys made any plans for, or to maybe listen to a broadcast of a football game or something like they call it game
Yeah.
night?
Yeah. But Teresa also has some nice meet and greets. She does bowling as well.
Okay.
For the group and different things like that. So.
we tend to. I try to meet once a month. I call it the working age group, so it's
Right,
everybody that could still, if employers would have people take
Sure.
that risk.
Got you. Yeah.
Could because it's not a risk, but for them it is.
Yeah.
To be able to go back to work. So
Sure.
I called it the working age group. But the
Yeah.
emotional support they've given one another
Yeah.
is just second to
I think
none.
that's invaluable.
And that's where, for me, it brings so much joy, because there's so much I can say, but to be able to go through and talk about their different experiences has just been immense. Yeah.
Yeah, if you were to, I can see someone who's had a life like you have, Mark, being sort of, holding court for and being able to relate stories of meeting great people and the influences on your life and stuff like that. I'm sure there are many who would find that interesting.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You're
I
not
like
shy
it.
about speaking in public, right? You're here on the radio station
Yeah,
now
there
speaking
you
to
go.
a lot of people, so
That's right.
I could see the storytelling aspect of it being very interesting, maybe for a group of folk to say, well, who gets to relate a life story this month, and maybe taking turns and doing something like that. I mean, there are probably those who'd love to hear more of the details about your professional soccer career, and also just being on radio is kind of cool. If there was another time to hear a little bit more about that, maybe contact some of those guys that you were behind the microphone with.
Yeah, and also, Shelley, what you call them? Finished on Sunday, and that'll be a nice thing, a nice gig to do. Eventually.
To talk radio.
To fill in for Miss Dill. She's
So
finishing
you're
up.
on the air, yeah.
And she's been a mentor of mine too, Mrs. Dill.
Good,
Shirley
yeah.
Dill, so-
She taught me how to do this when I first started
Oh,
right
wow,
out of high
okay.
school back in 1980. Shirley and
Oh, wow.
Gerald Daniels
Yes,
and Mike
Miss-
Bishop
yes.
taught me how to do everything up here.
Oh,
yeah,
beautiful,
so we
beautiful.
owe her a lot.
Yes,
And
correct, you do.
she's definitely owed her time off for
Oh, yes.
all the amount of time she's committed to
Yeah.
keeping everyone entertained and informed,
Yeah.
because that's what we
Yeah.
do
And
here
she'll be a miss. Yes.
in radio.
Mhm.
Yeah. So what is sort of for the holidays coming up? Are you going to be doing stuff with family? You know anything going on with you, Mark?
Oh yeah, with family and friends, and like I said, a lot of the guys I used to play football with in England, the States, they
Keep in touch.
and now since Teresa has
Got you your iPhone.
armed me with an iPhone, I can actually WhatsApp them and talk to them, and so it's like a lot of them I talk to them daily, you know. So
Yeah, it's like catching up on
Yeah,
those
yes,
friendships.
it's-
Has it been a
yeah.
while? How long have you been dealing with your sight loss, Mark?
about 2 years now, I believe.
Okay.
Yes, about 2 years. But
Yeah, and I thought it was interesting that what Mark touched on earlier is that he didn't pay attention. Please excuse me if I'm wrong, Mark, but didn't pay attention about taking medication and looking after
Yes,
his
that's right,
eyes.
Uh-huh.
And I think there's a lot of people that are in the same boat that might have a diagnosis and think, oh, well, it's all going to be okay. It's not going to happen to me. Or
Sure.
Right.
too frightened to do something about it. You
Yeah.
know,
Uh-huh.
so there's... and please reach out to us at Vision Bermuda, because we would love to talk to you and put you in touch with people to, you know, who can encourage you and support you. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, because sight is a beautiful thing when you have it, and if you lose it through ignorance, you know, which you know, so, you know, especially when you can avoid it, please
Sure.
do, you know, don't do that, because you know we've got families and our kids grow
Sure.
up and they change, you know, how they look from when they were little and stuff like that, and it'd be good to see them if you can.
Sure.
So you know, so yeah, please don't anyone out there that has vision loss, you know, get in contact with us or eye professional, and please look at those address those problems right away. You know, don't let it lapse, because you know.
Was there anything in your case that was maybe something that was missed or misdiagnosis, or is it just something that you should just said, you know, you were told to follow up on and didn't at the time, or was it something that, you know, you noticed coming on and you were just like saying, well, you know, I remember Kareem Abdul-Jabbar talking about his heart issues, and he said, I'll just wait till it passed.
Yeah, yes.
Right?
Well,
When I
yeah.
should have seen
Right.
the professional right away. Is that sort
Exactly,
of
yeah.
the scenario you were
Sure,
dealing
sure.
with as well? It's just like, you know,
Exactly.
some days it was like, oh, this is a little
some days
cloudy
it was
here, or
okay,
it looks a
yeah.
little dark. I wonder what that is. But
Yes,
then other
right.
days it was fine. So,
Yeah.
you know, but that's why we emphasize so much here
That's
on
right.
Vision Talk, that having an annual,
Yes.
you know,
Absolutely.
eye exam is so important.
Important,
Not even just for things like diabetes, like which led to your sight loss, but
Right.
the various other things. We've talked with Dr. Smith about glaucoma being the silent
Yes.
stealer of sight, without a whole lot of symptoms until there's been some damage and so on. So we often have to I should say remind folks of what we've talked about before, because the whole point of us having these chats is to help those who do have sight loss, but also to prevent as much sight loss as we can. And so, I think it's really important to have stories like yours, Mark. Well, you know, perhaps if you'd, you know, been on a little sharper, you
Yes.
know, like 4 or 5 years ago, you wouldn't have, because it's a quick thing. It's a slippery
right,
slope. You
yes,
think you're
that's right.
fine for a minute, and then all of a
Yeah.
sudden, you know,
That's
within
right.
6 months or so, you've
right.
you've got this sudden thing going on. So,
Yes.
as far as you know, you have some mobility issues too. But as far as getting around in Bermuda with your sight loss, have you found that difficult? You have a good driver, of course, that's going to collect you and take you
like
around.
You said, you know, I have a great support staff, Mr. Donald Norford, and the lady, Capri Smith.
Capri is just the most wonderful
Yeah.
person on the planet.
Yes.
Shout out to Capri.
Yeah, shout out to Capri. and her driver, Elvis. Elvis does a good
Sure.
job, you know, and make sure that I get to the hospital on time when I have to go. So, you know, things of that nature. So I'm very fortunate and I'm blessed and I'm thankful, even though, you know, it is where it is. But, you know, I'm still very thankful for you know, for the life and stuff that
you do have.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Gracious is a good way to live.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. Yeah.
Do you do any other sort of outings, social activities, like along with Capri and her groups and things like that,
Oh yeah.
to get out of the house and get out and about?
Yeah. Yes. I also have a friend that's up in has dockyard rentals.
Sure.
Mr. Gladwin Lambert and stuff. You know, sometimes I get out, and other friends will call me. They come for the day and take me up to our dockyard and stuff. And
Sure. Get you some fresh air
Yeah,
and low
yes.
salt water.
sit up. Yeah. There you go. Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. And but they tell me they get nervous. They tell me they don't want me go by the water with my, in my wheelchair and stuff.
Not too close.
Yeah. I said, but I can swim. I said, no, don't do that.
Yeah.
So
Summertime. Save your swimming for summertime there,
Yeah,
Mark. It's a little chilly right now.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
saying.
A lot chilly, yeah.
Acclimatized.
Yeah, you're right. It is a lot chilly. So, but, but
So
yeah.
we got some exciting stuff to let our folks know about. If you're just joining us, you're listening to the monthly Vision Talk program here on Ocean 89. Teresa McMorty, the rehab specialist with Vision Bermuda, is joining us along with Mark Berger, Jennings,
Yes.
and all the football fans here on the island will know of Mark's name. And talk about you did mention real quickly the American League teams you played for before going over to England. Who was it that you started out with?
The Miami Fusion.
Okay.
That was in Major League Soccer, and my good, and a team up in New Jersey.
Got you.
The New York Cosmos, not
Right.
the original ones, but the New York Cosmos.
Is that the same one Mr. Horton played for? At one
No.
point?
He
No?
was going. Yeah, he was going by then. Yeah. But played with them and played for New England T-Man.
Okay.
As well, so, and the Boston Breakers.
So what made you go across the pond then to the UK? Was it the opportunity?
It was an opportunity because the West Ham coaches, Harry Redknapp and Frank Lampard, they were good friends of mine, and they would come to the island. They wrote me and said they wanted to come to the island to do soccer camps. So we used to do them at National Stadium and Barclay, at Barclay School. And then they said, hey, the guy at Manchester United, who you know, Brian Robson, he used to be the captain. He's taken over at Middlesbrough, and he's looking for a goalkeeper. I said, man, come on, guys. I said, I'm almost at the end of my career. So they said, well, I'm sure you've got at least 4 or 5 years left.
Had some good hands still.
yeah, and good hands. So I went with Brian over there.
Over to Middlesbrough,
at Middlesbrough. So yeah.
Yeah.
I lasted there 10 years, so it was fun. And
Good.
then after that, able to go to law school, University of Birmingham, got my law degree. So yeah, so that was a lot of fun, being in England. And like I said, just took advantage of the opportunities at hand. And
Sure.
I worked here for the late Mr. Richard Hector for a while, and the late Lee Holder,
Okay.
as well. Those guys, and so, and still from time to time, their associates call me to do some legal research,
Sure.
so and stuff. So it's still a lot of fun. So I still dabble on that. Keeps my brain very active. So
Absolutely,
so
that's
like-
important.
so
And
like-
knowledge is power, as we like
Yeah.
to say, and it truly is when it comes to the law. Because
Yes,
if you've
it's
studied
right,
it,
yeah.
it's not like anyone took it away from you.
That's right.
Just
yeah.
because you can't read it anymore
That's right.
yourself, it doesn't mean you
Right,
don't
right,
still
yeah.
have the knowledge.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
think that's great. So you see yourself still sort of being, an adjunct to some legal stuff going
Yeah,
on here.
yeah.
Did you work in criminal law or did you work in business law? What did you work in?
Criminal law.
Criminal
yeah.
law, okay, in defense
Yeah,
or
yes,
prosecution?
defense. Yeah.
Got you, yeah.
Yeah, so I did
Super
that for a
important.
while. Yeah, so it was it was a lot of fun doing that, and like I said, and one thing I did learn a lot, even when I was in law school, I was the different acts,
Sure.
and friends now will call me up and just say, hey, what's the act of 1962?
Sure.
Yeah, I knew that right away, and the Cannabis Act of Bermuda, and all
Sure.
all these different things. So there's certain things that I
You have a certain level of expertise in because you
Yeah.
studied
Yes, that's right,
significantly.
yes.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. So it
Good
was
for
fun.
you. Yeah.
Like I said, at the end of the day, Shelley, I'm again very grateful to Teresa and Vision Bermuda for helping me out.
Sure. We got a special thing coming up we got to tell people about too,
Yeah.
don't
Yes. Yeah.
we? What's happening on Friday the 15th, Mark?
Oh wow! On Friday the 15th, I'm having my annual golf tournament, which is going to be all proceeds will go to Vision Bermuda.
Awesome.
And we're going to be playing at Belmont Hills, 8:00 in the morning, shotgun start. And actually, I'm trying to get my cousin. He's the fellow that works in there, but I know he was on there too. I'm the captain.
Sure, you're going to get the captain to play? I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah.
sure if he's up to playing right now, but
Yeah,
I'm sure he
okay.
might want to be a part of supporting you guys
Yes,
for
yes.
sure.
Mhm.
Feel
Yeah.
free to contact him,
Yeah,
Mark,
okay,
when
I
he's
will.
on the air up here.
Yeah.
So go to sportbermudamag@gmail.com. That's
Right, mhm.
sport Bermuda Mag,
Right.
all one word,
Yes.
at gmail.com. This is how people can sign up for entry.
Sure. They can sign up there as well as they can call the Belmont office, because golf office. My good friend is the pro there.
Got you.
And he's taking teams. Right now we have teams from the group. I think it's called Par 6.
Okay.
Par 6 and North Village. They have at least Par 6 has at least 100 members, and North Village has about 60 members. So we're just trying to put together at least about for good golf tournament 22 teams.
Gotcha.
And then after that, Young Men's Social Club from 1 to 5, we're going to have the reception, where we're also going to do a raffle in aid of Vision Bermuda.
This is wonderful.
And I want to thank what is it again? Teresa. The store on Front Street, the Supermart. The Supermart, Belco, also Butterfield and Vallis, and also Boris Lightporn and John Barrett's. They furnish prizes for us.
Sponsors for the raffles.
Yeah, sponsor for the raffle.
Yeah. That's awesome.
And John Barrett's also sponsored water for the golfers when they play on Friday. Yeah, so.
Were you a golfer before losing your sight, Mark?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you chased that little white ball around that course?
At first I was reluctant, but every guy I played with soccer with, they played golf.
Yeah, so you kind of had to go along, right?
There you go. Yeah, and then I ended up liking it. So
yeah,
so it was really good. So
you and so many others in Bermuda's, light is really shining in the golf world now. I mean, I don't know how much you played back before you lost your sight and your mobility and all, but seems lately, our Bermuda tournaments are getting more and more recognition around the world.
That's right. Yeah, and Kim's doing a great job at Port Royal. Kim.
Sure, Kim's brilliant,
Yeah, because Kim is the chairman at Port Royal. And him and I used to do my sports show, Sports Zone, on Magic 102.7.
Right, yeah.
Him and I used to do that. So at the end of the day. And also my friend from Augusta, Georgia, that owns a company called Club Cars that makes the golf cars.
Makes the golf carts, okay.
Yeah, and he sold a whole bunch to Kim last month. He told me, phoned me up and told me, and stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, so,
all your contacts are coming through for our local golfers.
Yeah, there you go.
That's good to know.
But like you said, I've learned so much about the game of golf from people like Kim Swan. He's very knowledgeable.
He's fantastic.
And so supportive too of all these causes. So Kim, that means you better get some teammates out there for this tournament that's coming up.
That's right. Yeah.
Right? Sport Bermuda Mag at gmail.com. It's on Friday the 15th of December. Mark Berger Jennings holding a golf tournament at the Belmont Hills to raise funds for Vision Bermuda, and we're right at the crucial stage of fundraising for Beacon House, which is going to make we're going to have so much more to talk about then. Because I'm sure that's going to be a great place for you, Mark, to be the inspiration for so many others in your position because of the life you've lived, and so happy that you've turned the page to how your life's going forward now, even though you're dealing with some challenges. I know you're a huge inspiration to a lot of folk, right, Teresa?
And of course, Shirley, we're trying to kidnap and keep Teresa in Bermuda.
Yeah, we hope she stays for a while longer. We just got to get her some help. We're going to get her some help.
Please.
Get her some help, yes.
We have to talk to the board and get her some help. And then, we can just go from strength to strength. And again, we're having a good laugh about, but all of that is still dependent on funds. So it's so very important.
Yes, funding, that's right.
And before we wrap things up, we just want to tell people that you can contact Vision Bermuda at 292-3231, or you can email info@visionbermuda.bm. Check out the website, of course, and also their Facebook page. They would love it if you found them on Facebook and liked the page, and if you feel to put a review in there. It's all important to keep the development going for helping Vision Bermuda help our vision impaired folks here on the island. Looking for volunteers who are interested in learning voiceover for the iPhone and iPad to support the teaching of clients. So again, people should send the email.
Amazing.
So all you little or large or however old you are, folk who are into having this particular app and helping those learn it, the voiceover app for iPhone and iPad. any young people, who are interested, please contact. You can get your volunteer
Yes, 'cause
hours, I'm sure.
I would provide proper training, of course.
Sure.
Right.
And then they can help the
it'd be
clients help it
amazing.
as well. So
Yeah.
if you're a whiz on your iPhone and iPad,
And
Teresa
have
needs your help.
patience, of course.
Yeah.
Have
Yeah.
patience.
And have patience.
That's
Yes, yes,
important.
patience.
Sometimes you need that.
Yeah. I know Teresa's needing a lot of patience with me. So, but any.
It's been successful.
Yeah, and also, Shelley, I forgot. Just say a shout out to what's the name? You1.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, you1 as well. Yeah, she's
I was
another
thinking
one.
about her. She's
Yes.
she's pretty amazing. How,
Good
Yes.
stuff.
how far she's come.
Yes.
Well, we're glad you guys could hang out with us today. We've come to the end of our program. Teresa, thank you so much. Mark, thank you so much for getting yourself up here
And thank you.
and talking to our listeners out there about your experience. And I think we want to leave folks with the caveat that take care of your eyesight.
That's
Don't
right,
ignore
yes.
it. Don't ignore any
please.
signs. If you're dealing with metabolic disease like diabetes, especially pay attention to getting your medical needs looked after, because it can mean the difference of having sight to enjoy a life with vision, or having to totally readjust to life without it.
Yeah,
Right.
and
You know?
get in touch with us
Sure.
if you're thinking, oh yes, well that's easy for you to say. Ophthalmology is expensive. I don't have the right insurance,
Sure.
and I've got my Belco bill to pay. Sorry, Belco.
Yeah. we all have to pay our Belco bill. We know.
And the choice is you've got
Sure.
to pay your Belco bill,
Sure.
haven't you?
Yeah.
But just get in touch with us, because there are means and ways, and
Sure.
sometimes
There are funds that can help
we
out
might
with that.
We might know somebody who might be able to help.
Yeah.
Sure.
or-
Yeah.
So please do get in touch with us. We're, yes, I do provide a
Yeah.
lot of training and support in other
Yeah.
ways, but just
We
put
can
you
help
in a-
help put
you in the
people
right
together
direction as
with the
well.
right folk too, if you're dealing with something like this, especially
That's right.
if you're isolated. So if we've reached anybody out there, or if we can reach someone who can reach someone else to do this. Mark, I want to thank you so much for coming, my friend.
And Shelley, thank you. Before I go out the door, I just want to say thanks to Phyllis as well. Phyllis
Sure.
has
Oh,
been
yes,
tremendous.
yes,
We
yes.
She's
couldn't
been
do it any of it
tremendous,
without
yes.
Phyllis.
Yeah.
How smart is she?
Yeah.
And
Oh,
talk
yeah.
about an inspirational story for someone with vision
Wow.
loss, right?
Yes.
That's one
Wow.
there as well.
Exactly.
Thank you so much, my friend, for coming
Thank
by.
you.
It's been great talking to you.
Thanks for having
Teresa,
us. Yeah.
Yes,
A good
I'm
Christmas?
not here next month because
Yeah.
I'm really sorry, but I'm on holiday.
she'll be on vacation, but
Yeah, I'm on
we'll get
vacation,
it
but-
together and we'll have a great
I
program for
do
folks.
have a great inspirational speaker in
Sure.
mind, but I just didn't finalise the details, so I didn't want to say who it is yet.
But we will when we
But
come into the
yes.
new year. Well, wishing
Yeah.
you all a really happy holiday and
Same to you.
a
Yes,
great
happy
start
holidays to you and our
to
listeners.
to the new year as well. And thanks for tuning in. Anytime you want to call up here, Mark,
Yes.
232-8989. You got to program
Okay.
that in your iPhone,
There
okay?
you go. I got it.
Call me
Yeah.
and tell me what song you want to hear, okay?
There you go. Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks so much,
Thank
folks.
you.
You've been
Thank you
listening
very much. Yeah.
to Vision Talk here on Ocean 89.